line didn't work, or this line should be cut, or this line is just not working for whatever reason. All the writers are there, and it's very stressful. I loathe this part of it. I kind of think by Friday night we should have it right, but you never really do. It's always a work in progress, and we'll try different things out to see what works.
In your writer's room, is it largely a solitary or collaborative experience? It's
a collaborative experience, but we do it differently than generally done. I don't know that anybody else has done it this way. At least I'm told that we're kind of alone. But I started on Sybil. I started a different process. I'd been taught, and I came up when I was on Roseanne and shows like Roseanne. You break a story, and you have an outline, and you send the writer off for 10 days, 2 weeks to write the script, and they bring it back, and the executive producer throws it out. That's how television gets made. And the rewriting process is generally a sustained argument with the guy who wrote the first draft and the executive producer. Everybody's miserable. Everybody hates one another. You're ruining my work. Or you're secretly thinking, oh, they're making it better. That's even worse. I'm no good. I'm not worthy. I'm a fraud. You know, either way, you're not happy. And you have the problem sometimes that, you know, writers, if their name is on the script, they're incredibly engaged in the making of that show. And if their name's not on the script, it's like, I never liked this guy anyway, let him fail, you know. And I'd done that for years, the result was taking out of the fact that sometimes you're working for psychotic actors and demonic executives. It meant for 14, 15-hour days, 6, 7 days a week. 70-hour weeks were the rule for years, and it was terribly destructive to people's lives. And when you're that tired, you write stuff that you think is hilarious, but the truth is you're delirious. and you know, you sit in a room with people at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and just be laughing, people be weeping, oh my God. And then you come back the next day and you see the actors' faces going, what? So, starting on Sybil, I did away with that system. I said, all right, this is my bat and ball. I'm not going to do it that way anymore. So what I've been doing ever since, with a few attempts to step away from it, but Dharma and Greg pretty much ran this way, and 2.5 Minutes run this way for 96 episodes now, is I break the story with a couple of the writers. We put it up on a grease board, scene by scene, what we think the story is, what we think the story is about. You know, it's not just a series of events. It's got to be about something. It's got to have some fundamental thing that we care about. Excuse me. And then we write it, the 3 or 4 of us. We just write it, fade in to fade out. No one goes off to write a script. And no one actually knows whose name is going to go on it until we're done. And then I put as many names as the Writers Guild will allow me on the front page, so everybody shares in the residuals as much as possible. And you know, hopefully it's a much more streamlined process. The episodes are not uneven, hopefully. And the writers are engaged in the whole series, not their episode.
Do they have trouble adapting to that format, having written
If they do, they get fired. Yeah.
So they adapt.
They adapt or die. Yeah. No, but it's, you know, for one thing, you can't fail as a first draft writer because you're not going to write a first draft. You can't write a script that I go, yikes. You're never going to do that. But what, you know, what's critical is stories have to be, you know, stories are what we live and die on if they're, you know, worth doing. And then if you can work in a room with other people without, you know, if everybody's so deeply insecure that they have to talk out loud and pitch constantly, the system breaks down. You know, you have to have people that are secure enough to go, I'm just going to sit here quietly because I don't have a clue. And you also have to be able to sit in silence, which is very hard to do with a group of people to sit, you know, because when you're a writer, a lot of times you sit and you just, you know, this is it, this is writing. And it's fine, it's not an uncomfortable thing when you're alone or maybe with one other person, but try it with 4 or 5 people. And you get the feeling something's terribly wrong. and you start hating everyone. You're all the reason we're failing. You know, you're all, why aren't you better? And, you know, and the trick is to not panic, or to panic and not tell them you're panicking, and wait and be patient and just, you know, and not settle. You know, that's the whole thing, is don't settle. Make sure that it's something that we can put on that we're proud of.